It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And we've got the incomparable Travis Kelce. He's going to be a busy man in the passing game. It's the Chiefs and the Broncos. All that and more coming up next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They've been playing their best football of the year, winners of 4 in a row. Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, we're in November now, so this is where you really need to settle in, start getting down to business.
And in baseball, they talk about the dog days of August. November, these are the dog days of football, trying to get in position for the big push.
The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Well, the Chiefs offense going to make their way out, and at the helm, a now 3-time Super Bowl MVP in his 8th season in the NFL, it's Patrick Mahomes.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Texas. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. They run it with Pacheco from the gun. That one a first down pickup of 8. The Chiefs at 5-3 now on the year. And they come in playing some pretty decent football, 5-3 over their last 8.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Man open left side is Brown. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that will bring up 2nd down. And here, Charles, is a look at the inactive, some of the guys that are out today due to injury.
Yeah, and this is where the preseason work comes into play for some of those backups. It's not just them getting some experience on the field, but preparing each week in practice as if they were going to play. And when you have guys like that on your team, you've got a chance for success when the injury bug hits.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Forced out to his left. Room here to run. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
Mahomes now to throw. That's into the hands of Worthy. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. 2nd down and a yard.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 14-yard line.
Mahomes going to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That play gets them 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams marching right to the goal line and not cash in. They got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
Pacheco gets it up the gut. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. Pacheco once more. And this time he will score. Touchdown, KC. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and it's now a 7-0 game. A 10-play drive that time, and it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. So now here are the Broncos to take over on offense, led out by their rookie quarterback, drafted 12th overall, Bo Nix out of Oregon.
And last week, that was one of those games that he just wants to erase from his memory banks, but I guarantee his coaching staff won't let him do it. They're going to make him learn from it. He really looked like a rookie quarterback in that one. You're going to have those kind of outings in year one, but the big question, what does he take away from them, and how does he improve? It starts right here in this game. Offense.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Up the middle, it's Williams. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. George Karlaftis, the man to bring him down. Here's Nix. A short one to the tight end, Troutman. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up. That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football.
And the Chiefs are going to get him. Tershawn Wharton breaking through to get him to the ground. It's a loss of 7.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Now it's Nix. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. Give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has. And if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
He'll get this to his tight end, Troutman. Will go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Off the bootleg, here's Nix. He'll buy some time right, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to it. So now make that a 2nd sack for them on this drive.
And Brandon, we hear it every week when we go out to do a game. Everyone talks about playing complementary football. Their offense goes down and scores. They see that, and they want to back them up, and that they did, getting 2 sacks on this first drive.
So here's a 3rd and 14. To throw, here's Nix. Well, this is caught by Williams. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down. Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Lutz is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Isaiah Pacheco and the offense back out. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
The numbers for Travis Kelce last week. 8 catches, 85 yards.
And I don't know about you, partner, but if anybody ranks me in the top 10 in anything.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
The second quarter from KC. It's the Chiefs in possession of the football. They'll come up now 3rd and 9. As they've got it as we resume action. In motion, the tight end Kelce. To throw, it's Mahomes. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So he turned to a trusted, familiar face in that 3rd down situation. It paid off.
Yeah, you go to your veteran receiver in that spot, so you can't underestimate him when he's on the field defensively. Make sure you know where he is, because he understands how to get open in key situations.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. And again, it's Mahomes. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. John Franklin Myers able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Seems to me that our friend Old Momentum, I think he's definitely changed teams in this game.
It's only going to grow after that sack, and now, heck, they can get the ball back here and possibly even get the lead. On 4th down, Matt Araiza sent on to punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out-and-out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. They brought the house that time on a young rookie, maybe a little rattled through the pick.
And you have to be prepared for a lot of pressure as a rookie quarterback, because most defensive coordinators are going to test you that way. So when you see that, the ball's got to get out of your hands quickly. and that means your receivers have to understand they have to break off their routes quickly as well.
So here are the Chiefs to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. So after the INT, here's Mahomes. That's caught right side by Worthy. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Broncos' 18-yard line.
Now Mahomes. That's into the hands of Worthy once again. And the Chiefs are going to be set up with a 1st and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Throwing now is Mahomes. And it's caught on the deflection. And this is going to be a touchdown. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it. And he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
Butker on for the PAT. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it culminates in a Travis Kelce touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
For this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
On the option to give to Williams here. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Again, it's Williams. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll be brought down with a 1st down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 35. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Throwing Nix on the slant, completes to Sutton. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. To throw is Nix. Got his man. It's Williams. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Nix to the air. And he fends him off. That's to the right sideline. And it falls incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And that's going to be incomplete. The Kansas City defense tough to throw on there, and now it's 4th down.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
The kick by Lutz is good. And a 2nd field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So it was 4th and 1 down in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little surprised that that's how they decided to play it, that they didn't go for it there. But sometimes just take those 3 points and put them in your pocket. I just have one question for you, partner.
Okay.
Hip pocket or back pocket?
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. KC's offense ready to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Pacheco gets it again on 2nd down.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Riley Moss.
And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Denver's offense ready to go again. And they'll start with great field position, trying to get back into this one. It's 1st and 10 here. Nix from the shotgun. He'll get that complete to Vele.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's 2nd and a couple. Off the play fake. Here's Nix. That is caught by Vele.
Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a 1st down. Looking to throw. Nix.
That's complete to Troutman, right side.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play.
2nd and 5.
Back to throw again. Pass incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. That's just 32 yards officially from the right hash.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll get the lead down to 5. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And now here comes Kansas City.
So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Now here's Mahomes. It's Kelsey on the ground. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Mahomes now to throw.
Another pass into the reliable hands of Kelsey.
And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
2nd and a couple.
In motion left goes a tight end. Here's Mahomes to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 25-yard line. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. In motion, the tight end Kelsey. Mahomes going to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
And this pass caught by Gray.
And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Noah Gray.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Chiefs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it, down by 2 scores. Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. This 2nd and 4. To throw, here's Nix.
Over the middle, complete. It's Franklin. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. He completes this to Sutton. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And Sutton will have a Broncos first down as he'll take this down inside the 45. Here's Nix once more.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Franklin. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit.
The kick by Lutz is good.
And that lead is back down to 9 now.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball.
And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you two in a bit. For now, plenty of early game action around the NFL to get you caught up on, so let's get to it.
In the first half, we saw some strong play from Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Here's Nix. And this is going to be dropped. Oh, my gracious. There was no one in his area code, but he could not hang on to it. Here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Nix. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 42. Off the play fake, Nix. This is caught inside the 15. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That's good for 28 yards.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense because so far in this game, no touchdowns to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue. Not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off, but a nice game there for a first down.
They'll look to throw again. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting set for this next possession. And it's been a struggle for him all afternoon. This defense has really done a nice job of making him earn everything he gets, and it's prevented him from getting into any kind of rhythm here today. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. And he's got his man on the out route. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. Now 2nd and 3. Working out of the gun is Nix. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Second down and 3. Nix looking to throw again.
And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Throwing Nix.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
A nightmare on third and goal. He's sacked, and multiple players broke through the line to get him.
This rookie was already being tested as he tries to lead a comeback here in the second half. Now he's got to get some momentum back after that sack and a big loss.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good, and that'll move them back within 6 now.
Well, the 3 points certainly helps, but you feel like, Charles, at this stage of the game, when you force those turnovers, you need to start converting them into touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised myself because I thought in this situation they were thinking end zone or bust. Now they got to rely on their defense to get the ball back again for another opportunity to get 6 points.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well because it's not quite no harm, no foul, but the interception, hey, shake it off, move on. Hasn't cost your team the lead, and now it's time to rebound, and the quarterback and his teammates, they can add to the lead with a good drive here.
He'll check this one down to Pacheco.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
The Broncos offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he's going to have a Broncos first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
To throw is Nix.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
Nix to the air.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll bring up second down.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
I have to think a major focus at a halftime means had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Here's Riley Dixon now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow, out of bounds at the 1-yard line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Back near his goal line. Here's Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Chiefs first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. To throw, it's Mahomes. Got a man over the middle, Worthy. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here.
Delay of game, offense.
Now flags, and we're going to get a delay of game.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Complete, the tight end Kelsey. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10. Here's a 2nd and 5. Mahomes to throw once more. No hesitations, they go right back to Kelsey. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to kick it away. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
We're back now in KC. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Now it's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Nix. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Nix. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 40. Nix from the shotgun. He'll drop this down to Williams. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. Off the play fake. Here's Nix. Oh, and that is incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get him the completion.
Back to throw again. That is caught. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. 25 yards that time.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. And the slot man goes in motion left. They'll fake the jet sweep, but instead give up the middle to Williams. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. From the 5, 2nd and 4. They run it again with Williams. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. To throw, here's Nix. And this is going to be intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
That's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season. And in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing. But clearly, there's some growing still to do.
The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim. Now Brown, he lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. On 1st down, they go back to Pacheco. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10.
At the 32-yard line.
Delay of game, offense.
So offense moving a little too slow there, could not get set, and they get the penalty.
Still 2nd down.
And now after the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15. Now here's Mahomes. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And that's good for a gain of 6. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. They'll bring one of the tight ends in motion left.
Delay of game, offense.
So a penalty that can frustrate a coach so much, a mental error, and it'll back him up 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Here's Mahomes to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them, because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. They got to go thank the guys on D.
He'll get that complete to Franklin. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. 48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. Now it's Nix. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. Here's Nix. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move them all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
They go back to the ground with Williams. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Franklin. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. They come up now on 2nd and 2. Back to throw. Nix. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Nix's pass, complete to number 48. A gain of 7.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Flush to his right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Back to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for him. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And boy, having that 3rd timeout would have really helped here.
Another example of why coaches really stress saving your timeouts for when you absolutely have to have them. They go over this all the time. Here's one of those situations.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. And he will have a Chiefs first down. And that's the one that should seal the victory. Again, it's Pacheco.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line.
A 4-yard lead. It's 4th down. Matt Horizon.
So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire 2nd half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the 2nd half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for Kansas City, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for Denver, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL.